Hello all, welcome back. It is the Byzantian Brewscast. We're up to like episode 6 now, right?
Yep.
Alright. Your one-stop shop for all things brewy and Byzantian, and by that we mean tabletop stuff.
We do sell like old Persian like sabers though. Yeah, on the back.
They're in the back office, yeah.
They came with the office.
They came with the office.
When old tenants leave stuff in the apartment, they just forget.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind of one of those
we
situations.
hired the apartment off of some Persians and they were like, "Hey, our country doesn't really exist anymore, but our country went into administration like 2,000 years ago. It's fine. Don't worry about it."
That's why it's so cheap. This country no longer exists.
But hey, we're not gonna look a gift a office in the mouth, I guess.
That's certainly a saying. Yes. So right, how's everyone's week's been?
Well, I my
Mine's
week,
been a little.
yeah, mine's
Yeah,
been
carry on.
interesting. I guess. It's been mostly a lazy week,
Yes.
but well, I've got a lot of like project work done. I've done a lot of videos lately for the channels. I run two YouTube channels, which is a lot of work. Sometimes it is a lot of work. But I've done that. I've sorted out some Yu-Gi-Oh! Binder stuff. Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 is finally in a binder. Finally. Now I just need to add to it. And I've started the long and arduous process of sorting out my collection. So, wish me luck on that. What about you? How's your week been?
It's been all right. Too many applications. Um,
Yeah.
and then I've had a fundraising weekend again. So
Nice.
been sleeping well. Um, yeah, it was all the dogs again yesterday, and today was just down Sutton Park needed a hedgehog appearance, so
Ah.
that's fun. Um, they're hosting the Birmingham Running Festival. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, they're the official sponsors this year, so I was there taking the little ones, and sometimes the adults that want funny run photos, that kind of thing.
Mm,
Yeah, there was one point they needed to be done at the cheer point to just keep people going down the road,
yeah.
and it's like I never really have to think about it, I suppose, but it is really hard to try and use pom poms when you have no idea how to use them and there's no music.
Oh dear.
So, not that there's any like professional former cheerleaders out there and anything,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was the, the practice came out all right, I think. So no one's
Good.
going to be on my case on that one. So yeah, fun morning. But I've been sleeping fairly well afterwards, I suppose.
I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah. Otherwise, just more writing, and yet more writing is I'd like to keep in practice.
So much writing that one almost gets carpal tunnel just thinking about it. Not
Yeah,
quite though.
kind of. If I did that, I'd probably stop and just get it checked out. But yeah,
Well, yeah, that's true. I might go to the doctors at some point. So I might have started developing carpal tunnel. I don't. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know. But I
um,
do so much
you-
PC work that my wrists might be starting to not work properly. They've been a bit clicky lately.
I was going to say, man, it's pretty hard for wrists to not work properly.
True. So, other than that, I put up a YouTube short today, and it's gotten like it's already up to 2,300 views, which is absolutely mental. And of course, it's a a Twitch clip of me being silly rather than anything intended to make.
Okay,
So that's funny.
how silly.
I feel well. It's an uwu. What if our grenades touched joke?
Um,
because that
Nice.
happened.
Without further ado, what's the first item we got rolling up?
Yes, we're tabletop book club for the week. What do we have?
Hey. Oh, I've got yes, I got something uh, a little more skirmishy this week, which
Nice.
I just find kind of interesting. It's called The Doomed. It's an Osprey Games book,
Ooh.
and it's like a really open-ended
Ah,
skirmish game set in like the last days of the post-apocalypse. Whole thing is simple. That there is every mission has a horror or world-ending threat,
yep.
and you basically have to stop the. But it's a two-player game as well, so whoever defeats the monsters gets like the most. It technically usually wins the base encounter, but you want your party to be the one that actually does it.
Hmm.
So you're almost half encouraged to not be cooperative in the slightest.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really weird skirmish game because the game does have stats, but it has like a really flat way of doing of wounds.
Yeah.
Um, so you're either wounded or unwounded. The thing if you're wounded twice, you're just gone. That's it. So
Interesting.
it can be a really brutally quick game. Um, never seen like a game with such a short stat block for a character.
Oh.
But that's yeah, it's really brutal. But I think that kind of works
Hmm.
for what they're trying to get across.
Okay, it sounds interesting. So that was the Doomed.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the Doomed.
Cool.
It's very yeah, it's sort of like you've heard of it's like a game called if you've heard of it, Turnip 28.
Vaguely?
It's sort of like that. In the lore is quite vague, so you can design your warband in whatever way you like, using whatever miniatures you want.
Ah.
You can have a load of really weird miniatures, and it will still make sense.
Hmm.
So like the sample warbands in the book are made of like, honest to god knight miniatures in the same like warband as knights with pistols and like modern and flintlock. It's a real mishmash of miniatures. So it's really cool if you're into kit bashing.
Yeah.
And the general premise is quite fun because it's only like warband is 20 points. Um, but that relates to like no like usually less than 8 models.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a massive to do to get it done and put together.
Nice.
So yeah, I quite like. I'd like to get a bit of thrash to be honest, because it's quite Osprey Games puts out a lot of stuff we like they do the Frostgrave stuff as well.
Hmm.
And I'm a big fan of those books as well because they're really good at skirmish games with a really strong premise. Um,
And good
so
miniatures
they're really
too.
good at like one of they do miniatures, but they're nice and generic. So like I said, if you want to kit bash them, it's really easy to do. It's all the same scale. Um, they also for D&D oriented people that don't play other games, they have a sprue for Frostgrave just called the Demons, which look like they're just like heavily armored, horned uh, demons looking things.
Hmm.
Which means if you're looking for a decent tiefling miniature in heavy armor,
Yeah.
or even actually, I suppose if you kit bash, doesn't matter. Um, you can actually get a really quite a cheap and effective way of making tiefling characters
Nice.
because all the heads are the same size, effectively,
Mm-hmm.
apart from like the snake people, which are slightly different. You can just you can easily just take the bits you use and then just kit bash them because they're all the same size. It's kind of great. Um, Sort of like the anti Games Workshop in that there's a little bit of generic design going on, but that's so you can actually use every part of the miniature
Yeah.
in any other kit you really want to use it on. And that's
Cool.
just good fodder for like town guards and sailors and
Hmm.
goblins. Anything stock fantasy they probably do, and some weirder stuff as well.
Yeah. Nice. So this week I have the last of the Sovereign Stone books, which actually might be an accidental case of leaving the best for last. So this is a book
Oh,
called The Tarn. The Tarn? Taan. There's no like
Tan.
anything in the middle of it, like an apostrophe or anything. But it is
Okay.
a race book. So it's a yeah,
Right.
it's a race book about our race, their lore, some new skills, some new prestige class things that, and some adventure seeds that relate specifically to them, which is very interesting because I don't think D&D would ever do anything that in depth. What's also interesting,
Have to look
I was reading the
put on
blurb of
race.
this. Yeah, I was reading the
Yeah.
blurb of this on the back. It says in the pages of this source book, the referee will find all he needs to add the time into his campaign. So in this, they don't call them a DM; they call you the referee, which is a very weird
Wow.
choice of word. But in this book, we have like notes about physical appearance, so I will go into that now. There are void worshippers made by a demigod called Dagnaros,
Uh,
because of course it's more void stuff. Literally every
I was
void
gonna
thing.
ask. Is
It's got
I was gonna
it.
ask. Is this more void stuff?
Yes, apparently. All Tarn
Okay.
males, females, young and old, share roughly the same physical traits. Basically, Saurian. Um, so they're kind of like reptile people, but not, because they're not scaly. They're more like dinosaur type people, which is weird. Yeah, so Saurian, yeah, so they are Saurian, so they're dinosaur type people. Bipedal and
That's
bilaterally
cool.
symmetrical. Wait, so they're symmetrical as well. That's weird because people aren't generally symmetrical. Forward set of eyes with
Oh.
carnival placed above a short muzzle. All adult Tarn are tall, muscular, with broad shoulders, narrow hips, and thick chests. Coarse dark hair covers their heads. The hair is worn long, falling between over their shoulder blades. Their hide is leathery and tough and varies in color from shades of brown to near black. There is like paragraphs of this. There's even a section on albinos specifically, which is really cool. Albinos are rare in
That's
ages
quite
past. They're considered bad
okay.
luck. So they're kind of like very barbarian dinosaur people that aren't scaly. Like they're basically like
To be fair,
dinosaur-headed people. Um,
I think it's fair to assume that most fiction anywhere, dinosaur people are barbaric.
yeah.
So,
If you look up
apart
the
from
Tarn, the first image result is the front cover of this book. By the way, you can see the dinosaur
have a
people
look.
for yourself.
Um. So did kind of reminds me. Did you ever? You could have like any of the Dinosauria books.
No.
Didn't get that right.
Um.
Um.
Oh, these guys are
Because that
strong.
sort of had because it was this idea of like there's a um an alternative history where people just humans and dinosaurs were just always around each other.
Hmm.
Um, so this is honestly there's still loads of really cool artwork, just people riding dinosaurs and using them as like beasts of burden and stuff. It just looks great. Let's
Nice.
have a look at the tarn.
But they got it. This is for third edition, so it might be a bit different if you convert it to fifth. Plus four
Okay.
strength.
Oh, they look like crocodile
Yeah,
people.
like
Conan the Crocodile Man.
yeah. Plus four strength, plus two con, minus two dexterity, minus four wisdom. Sorry, minus two wisdom. So they have a good, interesting sort of stat line. Strong, powerful, and hail, heavily scarred from their battles and ritual scarring. They always face a challenge head on. Time will never run away from danger. They are medium, base speed 30 feet. Specially attuned to void magic and sense void magic on items, creatures, or in an area around them. Plus two racial bonus to climb and jump checks. That's nice.
Oh.
Actually, remembering that climbing is a thing that happens in games. Tarn are physically strong and nomadic. They learn to use their strength carry their belongings over difficult terrain. Tarn character may begin with one of the following stone enchantments embedded in his body: clenched teeth, hawk eyes, senses open, or will of stone. So you get a choice of essentially a player enchantment. Minus five racial penalty to swim checks though, because they are desert beings. They are desert people. They do not know how to swim. And they also have
That seems. Huh?
actually this is technically two races because there's also the half tan as well. They have stats, they have
Okay.
abilities and things for half tan player characters. That's nice. Yeah, I might actually wind up allowing people to do these as player characters, but like half the stat boot, the main stat boosts because I think that would be fitting more for 5th edition. And change, well, I guess change sort of void magic, sort of just dark magic in general, you know. So they get
It'd be funny if just one session you just started using void magic for everything, just never acknowledged it.
yeah. Um, and Tarnic have their own
What it would.
language too, which is interesting. So another thing is,
Okay.
we have in here as well. We have a new skill and a new feat, again for 3rd edition. But you know, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
What page is this on? 81, right? 81. So the new feat, craft ritual scarification. With this skill, Atana is able to create scars that are both symbolic and imposing. The skill is often used to accentuate the appearance of the embedded stones, thus inspiring terror in an enemy. Shamans typically take the skill, or be known to take the skill in order to create their own scars. Blah 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 blah. What does it do? Paleism is. It doesn't say what the scars actually do. But they can make scars as like a racial skill or something they can take. It's like a craft, so it's a craft. So scarification is a craft that they can do. I guess similar to like woodwork, etc. It's considered a craft. Feats, we have ancient lineage. Yours the blood of heroes, Tarn, who have been renowned warriors and nisms. Get a +1 bonus on all will saving throws and a +2 bonus to all bluff and intimidate skill checks. This skill can only be taken as a 1st level character. That's an interesting restriction for the feat. Blood
Oh,
Frenzy. The smell of blood mixed with excitement of battle rouses your warrior blood, and you are nearly invincible. Base attack bonus +5. So prerequisite base attack bonus +5 or higher power attack. To take this feat, you are allowed to make a reflex save each round against one melee attack. DC 10 plus the attack roll plus any attack modifiers. If successful, the damage you suffer is reduced by 5 to a minimum of 1. This feat can work in conjunction with the rogue's defensive roll. This feat will not work against damaging spells or ranged attacks. I will leave the rest up to. I won't go too much into detail, but there are 2 others as well. Sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 12 additional feats this race adds that you could totally make as not specific to that race if you wanted to. There also is a section on Tarn weapons. So they have like an
very
Ankix,
good.
Kualt. I don't know what any of these are. I think they're like specific fantasy weapons. Miscellaneous equipment like a tanning frame and a tent, blowguns. Even goes into deal about their art and medicine. Whoa, this is very in depth. And then there's prestige classes. So there is the Avenging Hand, which are their like warrior prestige classes or warrior subclass.
Right.
We have Black Veil Shaman, almost like Black Veil Brides. So that's like their caster class for their void magic. We have
Right.
Feral Warrior, so like more like a barbarian. And then
I like the idea that you have to learn to be feral.
yeah, and then Weapons Master.
You don't go that way.
Yeah, you don't become feral on purpose. Um,
Oh,
sorry, you
I
don't
did.
become feral on
I did.
accident. Oh, there is a
I didn't
fucking
spend several years.
there is a picture in here that is
Oh,
very cool. It's just one of them with a spear about to fight a bear standing on its hind legs. It is very Conan. But one thing that's interesting in the back, so we've got some adventure hooks. It's just a little smackerons. It goes like, it goes by adventure launch, complications, and goal, further complications. That's how that works. And they're just like maybe half a page long each, just like little mini side quest things.
that'd be
That
a bullet point in a D&D book. But
yeah.
yeah,
And then
okay.
right in the back, the most interesting thing, I don't know if I noticed it in the source book, there is a character sheet that you can photocopy, I
Oh,
assume. Yeah. It is laid out kind of similarly to D&D, except it's actually more detailed. So your weapon, instead of having just weapon and damage, you put your weapon name in the first box, attack in the second box, your attack bonus second box, damage in the third box, critical in the fourth box, range, size, and type in 3 of the boxes. Rather than just giving you a big fucking line, no, we'll give you actual useful things. And also things like intimate knowledge. Spells are separated to intimate knowledge, quick reference, and full reference. Your feats are a separate long section with enough space to actually write down your languages.
I bet someone actually thought about that.
Yeah, it even has a brief section for character description. But yeah, it's cool. I
Okay.
actually like. Maybe I'll think of running some Sovereign Stone stuff at some point. I don't know. Maybe like specifically that out of the book stuff if I have enough read of it. But yeah, interesting. The Tarn,
Sounds
everyone.
sounds a little bit like Talislanta, because that's another game with a lot of very non-human races.
Mm,
Sort of, especially a lot of lizard people. There's a lot of just weird stuff like that.
yeah. I wonder if you can be an
Okay, that sounds
unhorsed
like a
Tarn
rude
on a
dude.
horse.
I want an unhorsed dwarf on a horse. No, unhorsed. Right, so half unhorsed dwarf, half Tarn on a horse.
Oh, just this weird short dinosaur man with a beard.
It's just the weirdest name for a dwarf, unhorsed. You know, they were known for having horses in the first place, apart from like ponies, don't they, in most fiction?
Yeah.
It's like for like bit the more mules, like beasts of burden.
Mm. So
Most of them, yeah, yeah.
that was tabletop book club. Um, do we have critical fumbles for this week? Because once again, I do.
Okay. I do not this week. But a positive week to be honest. Yeah. What you got?
So first of all, let's get the obvious out of the way. Wizards of the Coast has done a stupid again.
Oh my God, I keep trying to leave them out of this, but that's okay. What have they done now?
So they have announced, well, not announced because they already kind of had it on their sort of pipeline. They have given us more information on the Assassin's Creed Magic the Gathering packs, except they have decided to make them half packs rather than full 10 card packs. How many cards in a normal
That's
Magic
not a
pack?
mistake.
Yeah,
But
so it's not really a mistake, but it is just
okay.
them being stupid. Because like with March Machines Aftermath, you just know they'll try and charge full price for these packs that are half the size of a normal pack. Because that
So,
makes
oh God,
sense.
so what was that like? 6 or 7 cards in the half pack?
Yeah, something along those lines. It's like I don't get it. Why are you making the packs smaller for like no reason? Because you can't draft them if they're that small. You have to either get double and figure things
Draft
out or whatever.
tournaments.
Yeah, it's like how do you play with these packs? Well, you can't. It's like thanks. But yeah, so that's Wizard of the Coast. It's still a stupid thing, not like a huge stupid thing that's like all my days, but like it's them being stupid again. Um, the other critical fumble is me. I am the critical fumble.
I'm the critical fumble.
I am the critical fumble. I'm the critical fumble, Paul. So I have done a very stupid thing. So I have. What was I thinking? Oh,
Mhm.
bugger. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say now. Oh, nuts. Oh,
Is that the fumble?
that is part of the fumble. I've forgotten what my fumble was.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear. I'm trying to remember what it was now. Bollocks. I had something really funny lined up and everything. Oh, nuts. Ah, yes. So, my fumble is I picked up something and forgot that I don't have any super glue. So I went to a place, I bought a model, didn't buy any super glue. Bit
Well,
stupid.
that's is it like is it like a weird range as well, so it needs super glue?
Yeah, it's like this yeah, it's like it kind of needs proper super glue and I forgot. and I feel stupid.
Um, what was it, may I ask?
So I bought an old Warhammer thing that's metal, and I can't really use plastic glue on it.
Oh, right, okay. Which was it Skaven one, by any chance?
Yee. So I finally wound up picking up an old Grey Seer again after I got rid of my old
Oh,
one,
nice.
but I
You seem to have a really good.
can't put it
Oh
together.
dear. Right. You seem to have really good luck finding like retro Warhammer stuff. I'd love to be able to
Yeah.
just do it on the fly. Um,
The other thing is that
was
this morning I almost put salt in my tea instead of sugar. I don't know how I managed that.
oh, you were tired.
Yeah. And my final critical fumble, which I just remembered, we won't get into until which will bring us into the next section, the
Yes.
skirmish report, because it was literally a critical fumble. Dice roll and
The place
all.
was closed till 5, which is really good.
Yeah. So, this week, our skirmish report is Cyberpunk Red. We've been playing that again, finally, after like 6 months.
Yeah. I
It's
admit, not exactly good with the system yet. Um,
same.
I'm glad I picked a character that actually can take a hit though, because wow, you take damage really badly in Cyberpunk Red.
Yeah, a lot of that was my fault. Bringing us into our crossover episode, I guess, the critical fumble. We had a section where we were trying to escape from effectively some gangsters, putting it simply.
Hmm.
Uh, I drove up a car park since I am the driving guy, and we got all the way up to the top. Did the classic GTA slash Burnout jump off the top of the multi-story car park, and that was the moment that I decided to roll a nat one at the
We
absolute
tested
critical moment.
tested if you can in fact do that. No, not really.
No, um, could have come off probably significantly better if I had not rolled a nat one, but yeah, let's just say the van was totaled and we were almost totaled. So, but there weren't that many other good options, I guess. So,
I think like you would, yeah. There was no escape otherwise.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently that's where the job going well is when the diversion plan ends up with two uh two serious injuries that require a full in-game week to treat.
Yeah. But we survived, and that's the good thing, I guess. But it's a lot of
It
fun,
felt
the
a bit like
Cyberpunk Red system.
it felt a little bit like Stars that number in that regard. Because if you don't play like a character built for combat and fighting, you really can't take much damage before you're pretty much useless to a fight or anything else.
Hmm.
It's more forgiving than Stars that number. That game is really punishing for that. But we took what like 20 odd 6 points of damage, which in Cyberpunk is pretty bad.
Yeah. And once you hit like sometimes you will get critical injuries which will make doing certain things more difficult, which is like, oh, in other like I
They're
guess in
really bad.
yeah, in fantasy systems you'd only really have like real downsides if you were cursed or something.
Yeah, yeah, something like a crushed right hand, so I couldn't be using that for
You
anything.
know, I got impaled. I don't know what got impaled on. Possibly the steering wheel. Just a piece of steering wheel just sticking out of my chest. That's fun. Just oh bollocks.
It's not like the game lets you operate on yourself.
Yeah, just operating on myself from behind, just sort of like nuts. Gotta like stim up my like back as I pulled myself off the bodywork of the car. It was nice enough of the enemy, though, to be dumbfounded just long enough for us to get out of the car and start running away.
I mean, to be fair, maybe they weren't expecting us to
Get
get
out
out
of
of
the
the car
van.
after
Yeah, like,
the car did rather crash and burn. So
yeah. It dropped like a stone, just putting it mildly.
yep. So don't try anything too Hollywood in Cyberpunk. You will regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dukes of Hazard, this ain't. Um, but yeah, that was our sort of skirmish report of the week. We were gonna do some kill team, but we just ran out of time in bit before the session because our local
Oh,
game store
my
was shut um, until
oh
5
my
p.m.
we can always rectify that. My team's ready when you are.
Yep. Next time, next
Next time.
yeah, next time because of how our system works, we will have some kill team for you, almost definitely. Moving on then to Explorers Guild. Do we have Where are we heading this week on our exploration of either the Forgotten Realms or just the multiverse in general?
And this time, I have. Let me pick up the boot. Um, back to the Ravenloft stuff again.
Nice.
Um, and it's the realm of Falkovnia, which is honest, which is great if you have any collection of zombie miniatures. It's great because it's basically a realm constantly besieged by undead.
Ooh.
So it's proper stock horror, but really well done. It's a realm with literally one city remaining in it. The
Interesting.
others have been basically the others have been either either destroyed by too many zombies or just abandoned.
Mhm.
So it's basically it's one of the more hopeless places in Ravenloft, to be fair, which I think kind of fits the mood. No one's really happy in Ravenloft. Doesn't really make sense. Um, so yeah, it's there is the city of Lekars, the capital and last remaining city left. And the problem with Ravenloft is Ravenloft, Falcofnia is every single month,
Uh-huh.
a literal horde of thousands of zombies appear from the mist and seem to gravitate towards the capital city.
Oh.
So there is a standing army, but there's not that many of them, and so they have to keep recruiting in civilians. So if you end up going to Falcofnia, there's a chance you just get drafted into the army against your will,
Oh.
and a lot of the army is just peasants forced into it, often without proper weapons.
Mhm.
And and to make it worse, most of the time when someone's killed, they tend to get up as an undead.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, so it's a realm that's pretty. It's yeah, the writer pretty much implies that no matter what happens, no matter how long they try and hold out, it's a doomed effort anyway. Um, just a matter of time before the zombies just break through too much of the city, and every single every single person currently in the realm is killed and presumably risen as a zombie of some sort. They
Hmm.
do actually do this variant of zombies. They've like more plague spreader zombies. I think they've like it's basically
It's a tuna monster, that.
like a
Sorry.
they have like a that's right. It's like a big old ball of zombies.
Hmm.
Uh, it's literally a big old zombie ball. It's great. So there is a bit of variety to it, just rather than just being the regular stat block. Um, the actual like Dark Lord of the Realm is a former mercenary. Um,
Uh-huh.
she's used to lead a company called the Talons, and her entire thing is just stupidly stubborn.
Hmm.
So like once a month, she knows she can just open up the gates and let people leave, but she's like too proud to just admit she can't hold the city.
Hmm.
So she'd much rather, crit conscript and draft in every able-bodied person she can find, whether it's perfectly legal or not, or appropriate or not, just to just to keep saying, yeah, we can, yeah, we still got this, we're still in control. So she's yeah. It's a realm with very little actual downtime
Hmm.
because they're constantly preparing for a siege that they know is coming at the end of every month. Sometimes that's repairing walls. Sometimes that's making new barricades and stuff,
Hmm.
or some sort of some sort of trap or burning oil or something. But yeah, there's no one's ever really resting. Um, there's a weird like class, like social class of war heroes as well that do like great things during the siege.
Uh-huh.
And they're used as propaganda to keep people's fighting spirits up, but they have to keep doing, quote unquote heroic things in order to keep that status.
Okay.
So yeah, they can sort of almost get trapped into this role of being praised as a hero, but then having to keep proving it over and over again, even if
Yeah.
the situation is completely hopeless.
Oh dear.
It is good though because it does have rules for sieges,
That's good.
um,
Ac
but for a specific type of siege.
well,
So it's
yeah.
got like the D10 tables.
Hmm.
It's got D10 tables for complications during the siege.
Nice.
Things like um, things like a nearby soldier is killed, which causes panic in a band, like a group of citizen militia, or a horde of zombies breaks down nearby wall,
Oh.
or a group of peasant militia are cut off by a new horde of zombies. Stuff like that that actually forces a combat scenario to get a little bit messier.
Hmm. Always nice, because it's nice to have a
Yeah, and if
curveball.
if you like your zombies, obviously this is the realm for you.
I do like my zombies.
Um, it's a really straightforward thing to run as well because everyone knows they're zombies, and these ones are done quite well. And just like the mood of the place, where it's ironically very escapable realm, but the Lord of the Realm just simply has the power to not let you leave.
Oof. It's just, we have entered into an area full of zombies. Hey, guess what? You're not leaving here now. Fuck you. Get drafted.
Yeah, even if you come there by accident, you're getting drafted into the army, and if you perform really really well during the siege, you might be allowed to leave, or made a war hero not allowed to leave.
Yeah. Bit, bit of column A, bit of column B, bit of column B, bit of column A.
Probably column B. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good to show that sometimes to have like a really good setting. Sometimes you have a lot of generic or stock elements,
Hmm.
and it still works out. It's a simple idea that doesn't sometimes comes across the best.
Speaking of really cool things that just use stock elements, um,
Yep.
I've been looking this week. I don't find any like gameplay stuff because they haven't done it in a while. The Pirate Isles from Faerun. So the premise
Oh, yeah,
is bunch of islands. There's pirates on them. So
I like that.
my question to Wizards of the Coast is, we have this really cool place where you could run pirate campaigns and piratey things and venture on the seas. What the fuck was Saltmarsh?
There was supposed to be pirates.
Yeah, it's like you could have added the Saltmarsh, or you could have just done Pirate Isles again instead, and that probably would have been better, and we might have actually had good boat combat. But no. But yeah, it's like apparently like at some point the Pirate Isles became all one island, but still, island full of pirates, piratey things. All you have to do is throw in a treasure island adjacent campaigny thing, and bam, instant hijinks of a nautical kind. We have things like an island full of tiny trees and animals called Balta. A bunch of natural reefs, fruit-filled islands where
Hmm.
with horribly deformed natives, Cyclops shepherds with another pirate hold, smugglers trading port, a place where some spelljammers crashed, which is really interesting. And We have a big cliff area, a pirate hold which is has a keep or something on it. A mountainous island full of former pirates. Okay. With which has massive carvings of human-like heads, kind of like Mount Rushmore, if you imagine that. Some,
The thing Easter Island. But okay.
yeah.
So there's
So
loads. So there's a load of American former pirates who just got. They just got to maybe pirating's a young person's game, and they're just like, nah, I'm over that now.
yeah, we have
Just a phase.
a volcano which might have a red dragon in it. That's interesting. You know, an area in the D&D universe that has a dragon in it. Natural
You'd think that
harbor
would be more like commonplace in the books. I
and
mean, it's kind of
an island that is
I don't
haunted by
know.
a vampire. But you know, instead of getting areas like this in Faerun, we get fucking Sword Coast Part 9.
Which to me could be interesting if weren't uh, they weren't so afraid of putting a bit of edge into their writing. I think it would
Yeah.
go a long way.
Or at least some meat into it instead of the thin slab of Marmite on toast that we get with every book.
Yeah, it would be nice to actually have like a. I've been saying for years I'd love a full-on setting book for Cholt or
Yeah.
something like that.
Because
It's just Cholt.
I feel like some of the campaign things for like the Sword Coast things could have been condensed into one big book just called The Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide or something like that.
Well, yeah, well, I could say that. I was running a game of a fairly standard game of D&D for for some friends, and some of the kids wanted to give it a go, so I ran Lost Mines of Fandelver.
Hey.
No, nice and stock. Um, and it just occurs to me, on reading that book back, that's actually a really good adventure, partially because there's a lot of there's pages and pages of lore,
Hmm.
uh, just about characters that are meant to be important and why they are important. It doesn't just say they are important; it explains why. Um,
Uh-huh.
it even recommends the characters have a reason to already sort of know them.
Hmm.
So it's a really well put together little campaign. But then again, I found like that at the early fifth edition books are quite well put together. The adventure ones, because you get like half a setting book inside your adventure book.
Yeah.
And again, that's really stock. But I think after when you're running weird stuff, that it does feel it's fun to go back to something a little more predictable.
It's nice to go back to the
Oh yeah,
classic pattern kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, what's more classic than your level one? It's D&D. You're fighting goblins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys completely got that wrong in Lamplight. Ah, yes, it's level 1. We're in a cave. We are goblins.
I don't know. I mean, how often do you get the old goblin party though?
Good point. Good point.
We've been waiting to play Hobgoblin for years, so this has been like
Hmm.
the best time to be doing that.
So, our last section is our edition time machine. Do we have any rulings to fix this week? Because I kind of can't think of much else because I haven't played many other
Yes.
systems. So take it away.
I do have a little sum this time. Just fish it out because there we are. Let's see. There we are. So, um, this is I guess this is something I'd like to fix from fifth.
Hmm.
Um, is they have sort of touched upon it, but psionic powers. Because as it's written in the official books, it's treated as just magic. Doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
Um, so, I mean, they've always thought like the Sonics are meant to be clearly magic, but so different to regular magic. It's not even on. It's not really. It's not really can't really counter it with the same kind of method. You can't counterspell psychic powers and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, so I found a way which I think you can get around that. So the way that it is, rather than a a bit of rewording. So your spellcasting modifier would be your manifest modifiers. You're literally trying to invoke the power.
Makes sense.
You have a Scion save, which is your spell save, and um, you get you choose you, well, you basically choose a number of powers.
Hmm.
But rather than having levels, you just have Scion points. So you have each day you have a limited supply of points you can put into using psychic powers.
Interesting.
Um, so yeah, rather than have like a whole list of spells of different level, you could instead choose to spend a single psionic point to use the basic effect of the psionic power,
Hmm.
or you can call it a grand manifestation. So basically, you can overload that psychic power to have more effect.
Makes sense.
So in theory, if you want to, you can basically have a ridiculously powerful version of one power, but
Hmm.
putting all your points into one use.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
So basically, it functions distinctly from your basic spell slot format.
Hmm.
Also, with the added benefit of you can't counter spell psychic powers, or you can't detect magic. Dispel magic will not work on it because it's not classified in the same way.
Yeah.
Because the other caveat is if you have psychic powers, you're slightly better at resisting psychic powers being used on you because you know how they work.
Yeah.
So that is how I would fix and tweak their psychic powers to the fifth edition. I feel there's always a bit of half effort, um,
Yeah,
just to
it's
make
like
it,
they went too far in the other direction, trying to nerf psionics, and it just made them basically unplayable in the opposite direction.
which is weird because they always favor spellcasters, especially in fifth edition.
Yeah, I think it's because there's the connotation of because the mystic was the psionic class of there's always this thing in the community back in the day like never let anyone play a mystic because mystics are absolutely fucking broken. So I think wizards kind of
Yeah,
noticed that and
because
was like,
someone
okay,
did
we have to
balance it right.
nerf this, but they in typical wizards fashion nerfed it too hard.
Well, if you don't want to think about Wizards of the Coast, they certainly do things. They certainly do whatever they do all the way, even if they half-ass it all the way.
Yeah,
So they're good at overcorrecting.
yeah.
That is something. Um, so yeah, that's what I'd tweet this week. Do you have you have anything in mind? No, you don't.
I regrettably do not have anything in mind because
Okay.
like I said, I haven't really looked a lot of old editions because I started with fifth, so other editions are very alien to me, apart from a little bit of second E. But there's not much from second E that I would take forward because, oh boy, second edition is scary.
You mean you don't like you don't like long resting for one hit point?
Yeah, and I don't like that carrion crawlers paralyze for hours, not rounds. That's
Yeah, you look. Yeah, looking back at old rulings, you can kind of see why a lot of parties TPK'd all the time.
yeah.
Imagine a whole party going down to paralysis for carrion crawlers, and that's just like, well, guess we're just dead.
Oh, that almost happened to the party that I was with during this one game. That actually, one part. See, we had to wait for like I think 2 hours because thankfully they rolled low on the I think it was like D6. They only rolled a 2, so we had to
Right.
wait for 2 hours for our party member to not be paralyzed. I mean, I guess the thing would be, oh, you should have brought anti venom or whatever with you. How are we supposed to know that?
Also, don't imagine you can apply antivenom when you're paralyzed.
No. Well, someone could apply it for you.
Yeah, yeah, there is that.
But it's just like, yeah, What am I supposed to do in this situation? Imagine being in combat with carrying crawlers and a few other things, and you're just there waiting for combat to be over because you're paralyzed for the entire combat, even on a roll of a
I almost
one.
yeah, did that for half a combat once. That's quite funny.
Uh,
Although in fifth edition, paralysis is like the best way you can be reduced to zero
yeah, 'cause
because you
it's
never die.
yeah. At least you're not
But
dead.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's one playing one of Brett's campaigns, and we were basically on an item fetch quest to uncurse something in the Wood Elf City.
Uh-huh.
And of course, for some, now this is a thing I just noticed is a really bizarre like thing to do when you think about it. But so they needed these obscure ingredients for a potion,
Hmm.
but they made a riddle for it because that's a good way to deliver information.
As you
Like
do.
imagine if you're like, yeah, imagine just doing that with something more mundane. Like you need like just buy something from like a an Aldi or an Asda, what have you,
You go to the
and
shops to buy some
rather than
milk.
here's the riddle of the shopping list. Yes.
I cannot be
Um,
drunk cold. I must be heated first.
although that could be fun if you have to ask the staff at the till, wonder what the hell you're trying to buy. Anyway, it's a riddle, and it's spider eggs were one of the things.
Hmm.
So we found this big old spider cocoon, and of course the giant spiders. And it was a weird party balance where three, I think I was the only Malay fighter, and I was there was half caster as well.
Oh dear.
Um, so I'm the only marshal in the whole team, which is fantastic. So of course I go in and I've got heavy armor, so at disadvantage, and I know I'm going to botch it. And I get like a couple of rounds in where I'm basically trying to destroy this cocoon so the eggs stop spawning,
Yeah.
and I do all right, but I get paralyzed and reduced to zero. But them just sort of sitting there for the rest of the fight, angrily, I guess, trying to stare the spiders down. I don't know what I did for the rest of it.
I just...
That was kind of that.
Oh dear. But yeah, the thing with the Karen
It's
caller
like the
situation.
I'm gonna say it's like the if you ever played Oblivion, it's like that paralysis spell. You just sitting on the
Oh
floor.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think the Karen crawler situation's worse because if the whole party, for instance, gets paralyzed, the Karen crawlers just eat you, and it's a TPK anyway. So it's like, oh,
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Have you seen their older designs for carrying crawlers? They're really weird.
They do look interesting in a strange way. I do like a lot of the art from second edition, except the Modrons, except the Modrons. If there's one,
I've never liked the Modrons. They just look a
yeah,
little. Some of the
for
monsters look fine,
they just look too
but some of them they're
they look too homunculi
cartoony.
and not they look too homunculi and not constructy enough. They don't look mechanical enough for a plane called Mechanus.
Fair point. Oh, that third edition art. The current crawlers are just strange.
Yeah.
Sometimes look really cartoony. Like the first edition one looks hilarious. It's like a big bug.
Yeah, it's just big bug. A lot of first edition art does look pretty funny though. I remember I think the 1E Beholder looks very funny as well.
I'm look that up. Yeah. Oh my God, he looks really unimpressed.
Yeah. It just
How is
it
that? Why is that not like an emote?
just like
That is
resting beach face.
yeah. There's first edition. I think the weird thing was like orcs were like pig people in the first edition.
Mm.
They very quickly changed their mind on that one for some reason.
Yeah. So, um, before we finish up today, I have a quick miniature bonus round because something came in the mail on Friday.
Oh yeah.
I haven't built it yet, but my 20 Skaven have arrived on their sprues.
Oh, is the clam rats?
Yes, my clan rats have arrived. I'm going to open up the box now, because I haven't actually opened it yet. It's not in. They didn't come in the original box, but I am aware by the product images that were on the eBay that this is indeed 20 clan rats on sprue, just minus the box. So I'm going to give it an open up as soon as I can. Wow, this is a hard box. This box. Let's have a look at you. I think these are like from a bigger box or something. They do have the round bases. Yes, everything appears to be there. Spears, shields, and all. Ah, oh, lads. Little... Oh, rat boys. Oh, there's the standard bearer. Oh, boy. Oh, it even comes
You
Echoes of Doom.
I always like their musician because he just has a bell.
Yeah, yeah, just boing. And there's all the bases. Yeah, so I think this is from a bigger box or something called Echoes of Doom, I think. So yeah, it's just a It's just a bunch of rat lads. Where's the bell? Where's the bell? Where could? Um, Interestingly, I remember one of the things actually comes the chakram for some reason. Skaven being like the only sort of race that really uses chakrams. Oh, there's the bell. Ah, lovely. I'm going to look forward to build those. I will be building all and painting all of these hopefully on stream as soon as I figure out how to do an IRL stream. So look forward to that in the future.
So so what was your like favorite loadout for them? I mean, they're never going to be amazing, but did you prefer spear and shield or hand weapon and shield?
I always went spear and shield just because the aesthetic mostly. Um,
And you actually get to use more rats at once.
yes.
Did did I didn't play Phantom, but did they still always keep their rule of their leadership would go up if they had more than two ranks,
I haven't
or
checked them in
by how many ranks?
I haven't checked them in Sigmar yet. I I don't actually know. I'm gonna actually look this up. AOS clan. Let's see if I can find the rules for them. Um, Lexicanum, perhaps. Is it in Lexicanum? Combat.
I think so.
Uh,
Should be on Battle. Was it Women Warforged? I think. I'll check. Yeah, a little bit of a quick ad. There's a great little app you can get free called Battle Scribe.
nice.
Fantastic little app. It's completely free. You can. It's got a whole lot of rule systems on there, and you can basically just put an army list together for any game you need. Really, it's kind of
Hmm.
great. So it's got the main ones. It's also got some of the more obscure ones. It's got the Doomed, ironically, on here.
Yeah.
It's Age of Sigmar.
So I've got Wahapedia up. Um, by the
Oh yes,
looks,
the other really
yeah,
good one.
by the looks of things, um, they changed it to something called Seething Swarm. At the end of the battle shock phase, you return D3 slain models to this unit. Oh, so they changed it. So basically, they seem to have changed it from higher leadership to you just get more back, which actually makes a lot of sense for clan rats, to be honest. For more
Yeah,
swarm
they did the
tactical
same to Gene
style.
Steeler Colts.
Yeah.
They just yeah, they got the icon bearer to actually do something.
Hmm.
Um, Especially with your cheap troops, it means you could basically it's ironically it's also 1d3. 1d3 we lost wounds to the unit, which is
Hmm.
remodels because they're chaff effectively.
Yeah.
A different flavor of chaff.
So yeah, this actually means that the spear is now more useful since they no longer have the rules of attacking an extra rank. So the spear actually makes more sense now.
I like how with Sigma they have like they've gone to the extent of making every weapon sound different. So you don't just get spears, you get rusty spears.
Yeah. One model in this
There's
unit
what,
can be a
5 +
claw
4 +
leader.
1.
Add one to the attack's characteristic of that model's melee weapon. It doesn't say what options they get in this page, but I assume they get bonus options.
Rusty swords and rusty spears.
Yeah. Because I know sometimes some units get like, uh, I guess it would be more in the equipment section for
Hmm.
game rather for this thing rather than in the in the unit stat block. But I swear I've put options on one unit in the past for funny things. Anyway, that was
And
that was that was my bonus section.
yeah,
So I will look forward to building some Skavens and my well, eventually I won't do it on stream the Grey Seer, but there's other things that I will definitely be doing to start building up a Skaven army again because well, we'll get into that
amazing.
later. We'll get into that next stream. What happened to my old Skaven?
Oh, was there an accident or were they sold off or
We
something?
we will get into that next stream.
Yes.
So if you want to hear the story of what happened to my Skaven, join us next week for our Rolling for Regret section, where we will talk more about that.
Okay. Right. But on the quick level update, I am considering so I'm working through chapter 2 of the unofficial sequel to the Eye of Argon.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking into doing to forget the audio quality. I'm doing like a reading of it and uploading that to my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of hoping potentially to get people that animate it interested in it, so they can interpret whatever the hell I've written. Um, some of it I think would be visually interesting, uh, and confusing, but visually interesting.
Yeah, nice. Right. So, yes. Hopefully soon we'll have some more Eye of Argon content for you all then. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
We might add that as a new section, maybe Eye of Argon reading, as an occasional section, as a bonus section, perhaps.
I'm up for that. The chapters aren't particularly long.
Yeah.
Um,
So we are going to raid out to
but,
Melancholy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this
it's
week. It's goodbye from me, Chaotic Jigsack.
it's Husk Busterly, and have a good week.
Yes. See you all soon. Bye bye for now.
It's actually a good point in the chat. Put in the chat what you think husking Busterly means, because I've never been able to figure it out.
Bye bye for now, all. Bye. You go
Uh,
to my channel.
have a good week.
Have a good week, everyone. You go.
Uh,
Don't forget to roll for
have a
initiative.
good week.
Have a good week, everyone. Beans. Has it not actually rated it properly? It hasn't, has it? No. Oh, piss.
Sent a load of goblins and like one hobgoblin to do the raiding. It's not working.
Oh, no. Slash. I am stupid. There we go. It got there eventually. Don't forget to comment, subscribe if you're on the YouTube.